you're back.
Yes, sir.
How's it going? It's Friday night.
Back and well rested and
Yeah.
ready to go. So.
Yeah, that thing just that was a marathon.
Yeah.
The draft. Yeah, it's a good time though.
Yeah, it sure was.
Goal getters.
Love doing it too.
Oh, can't beat it. Goal getters with me and John. John without the H. Robin's here. She's over there doing her stuff. Wade is doing what he always does, and we are kind of tired today, John.
Yeah, it's
We've all had a rough, long
couple weeks.
day.
Yeah, it's the weather. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, no, the weather definitely is the problem. And, we were up late. And Wade was up real late.
Yeah.
We have some stuff that we had to go buy, and he was there sleeping out at like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
I showed up at about 7 o'clock,
6
so
or
I got
7.
to see it. He stays out. Well, good for him. Younger than me, though.
Oh yeah.
So I guess maybe that's what it is.
When you're younger, you could go for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, I can't no more. But yeah, no, the weather stinks. Jeez.
Yeah,
Well, it's Western New York.
Yeah, it's been like this for quite a while now. It seems.
What do you
like.
think? Too long now? Because it's already
Yeah,
May
it's-
7th
Man,
and
it should be like golf weather right now.
43
yeah,
and rain
it
right
should
now.
be like in the 60s at least.
That, if you're not from here, which some people aren't that watch us, of course. Not everyone's in 716 like we are. It's it is what it is, and
Yeah.
it's like whatever you want to think. Like if you're in Minneapolis, it's the same right now.
Yeah.
All those beautiful places. You know what gets warmer though, and it was the other day when it was cold here was like Erie, Pennsylvania
yes.
was almost 80
Yeah,
the other day.
that's
And we-
crazy how to
yeah.
get that warm weather down
Yeah.
there. And,
We had the line.
yeah.
We're on the wrong side. So what else has been happening, John? Anything new
No,
for you?
nothing new. This
Me neither.
a lot of sports. That's all. So
Well, as we see, we got the NHL up, and playoffs are coming around the corner. But one of the most, this was,
you're not far away yet.
this was one of those situations with Tom Wilson. I'm going to tell you where exactly I thought he should have got suspended. All right,
Okay.
you go, Robin. You're busy, right, doing stuff.
Yeah.
You can go ahead, keep
Okay.
going. You're good. Let's bring it up. Let's see that first video. This was that.
A reload
This is the
play
cause
down
of
low.
the draw.
Starling Vanacek makes the
Milwaukee.
split
Steve
save,
Wilson pins him.
and it's covered up long enough.
Now, Jusnevich
Wilson got into it.
Jusnevich
with
was,
Gudmundsson. They didn't like the hacking and whacking
he hits
on
the goalie with his
left
stick.
pad. If he
That
did
happens a lot
that,
with
but
him. But
even
then
the
he's poking
skate
at the
blade
puck.
of Zibanejad was pushed into the
I'll tell you
goalie.
what, when Wilson, I didn't mind so much Wilson. See, there you go, Panarin.
Yeah, to the head.
No, but I gotta tell you, I think Panarin gets what he gets because he jumped on his back, and
goes around, you can
you
see
almost like
Bushnevich and
body
everybody
slam
coming to this
the way
scrum. We're going to have a lot of
Yeah,
penalties doled
I
out
didn't
here.
like when he
Could
pinned
be some misconduct.
Jusnevich down and
Dylan
punched.
trying to get
Because he
a
pinned
piece
him,
of
I don't know,
anybody.
he
It's like a
pinned his neck
rugby
down the
scrum.
ice,
Joe
and
behind the
then
net. Now
punched him
Vitek's
back
even
in the
giving
I
a
hope
push.
this doesn't carry on
Craig, I
into the
completely
playoffs.
understand why
I hope
things
it's a one-game
erupt at
deal
times,
where it's
but
over
you got to
with.
use your head.
Well, good
You've
thing
only
you
got
don't-
16
you
skaters,
don't know.
right?
Well, good thing the
correct.
Rangers aren't going to be worrying.
And we'll see how they dole out the
so they can
penalties
stay
here.
home.
Definitely
But-
some
But this guy
man
here,
advantages coming
Wilson,
up for either.
he's a really good player, though. It's not his fault he's so big and so good. I mean, he's good enough to play with Ovechkin. Like, he's got talent, not just a goon.
Yeah.
He's
And he might get other teams that go after Wilson in the playoffs. So
well to try to get him.
yeah,
Get him going.
Get him going and
And-
stirred up now.
But
So
now, what did you think about the fact that before we get to the next clip? What did you think about the fact that he wasn't the only thing that happened, Wade? The only thing that happened to Wilson, and Robin, I know you're busy. I know you'll make comments after. Was he only got a $5,000 fine, no suspension?
yeah,
So he made more money in the penalty box than
Yes, he did.
fine.
Yes, absolutely, he
I
did.
think-
Yeah.
5,000 is not even. It should have been at least 10,000. So
But now he gets to now. They're playing hockey now like baseball, where it's 3-game series.
yeah,
So they're going to play the Rangers now. There was a day off, and they play the Rangers on Wednesday night. That game was Monday. That happens. Panarin's a top 10 player in the world.
Yep.
So he got thrown around. I will say this: if Panarin would have hit his head and been stretchered off, he'd have been suspended.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think the thing that saved him was that Panarin didn't hit his head.
yeah.
Can you imagine if Panarin hits his head and he's bleeding? They would have suspended him.
I'm sure they would have.
Yeah.
It could have been season-ending suspension. Right?
Maybe even through the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But Wilson, this is the only thing I'll say on his behalf. I didn't mind him throwing. This is going to sound terrible. I didn't mind him throwing Panarin around because Panarin jumped on him.
yeah,
If Panarin didn't, he knew Wilson is probably the toughest guy in the league. And if Panarin at the size he is, and I give Panarin credit for jumping in there. You know, because it was dirty what he did to Busnevich.
For sure, yeah.
And but I think I would have suspended him for the punch,
Yes.
not for the what he does to Panarin,
Mm-hmm.
because I think that's just you can't blame Wilson for being too big
Yeah.
and fast. This guy's good, man. He's not a. He reminds me of. He's better than Lucic used to be.
Oh, yeah.
When Lucic
No
was
doubt.
good.
I just hope it doesn't carry over like the next year and the year after that. And
Oh, you know it's gonna.
you-
It's got to.
There's going to be a problem there. So
Well, you know what's going to be funny? Well, let's go to the next clip.
Yeah.
Here's Wednesday.
Before the puck even dropped.
Yes, this is. Yeah, puck doesn't drop, and there they go. Now you're going to have to have this.
yeah,
This is what, though. People like this.
yeah. Back in the day, this has happened all the time, and it's like
These are okay, though. These are just one on. I mean,
Yeah.
Generally, no one's going to get hurt here, and especially now you have your helmet and your visor on. Most thing you're hurting is your hands, because that's what you're hitting, right?
back in the early years, they didn't wear helmets, and they still fought like crazy in
More
the
res-
70s and 80s.
More respect, though, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
You didn't hit anyone in the head with your
No.
stick when you had no helmet.
No, there's more.
Unless you're Ron Hextall.
Oh, you will.
yeah.
Yeah. That lunatic. But I remember when Felix Potvin beat him up.
Oh,
that was
jeez.
great.
Oh, yeah. I never forget that one.
Yeah.
I mean-
here's another one. Oh no, this is the same group. They're just showing it again because there's more here. We're gonna watch all the fights as they went down, and you're gonna see what Busnevich did,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll talk about him. But here you go. You know who no one fought is Chara. Probably a good thing. You don't want to fight him.
No, not at all.
Now Chara, if he was on the Rangers, would have been great to see him fight Wilson. You know that would have been a
He
nice matchup.
could still lay him out, too. It's like,
7 feet tall on skates.
yeah.
He's a wrestler too, I guess. Back when he was in Czechoslovakia, he was a Olympic almost wrestler, I guess. So there you go. You see this now. Here's Tom Wilson on the ice, and Brandon Smith attacks him. You got to give Smith credit.
yeah.
I mean, he goes right after him. Smith's a lot smaller. Smith used to play for the Red Wings, and I
Yeah.
remember him attacking Chara once.
Oh, yeah. That was a few years
But
back.
look at now. Wilson's going to work on him here. I mean, this.
But he still laid the punches out. So
Yeah, he held his ground, Smith, and you know, this is what hockey is, man. This is
remember the
just what
type
it
of
is.
guys they like, because it's a morale booster for your team. You see a guy going at another guy
Yeah, and look at
with more
Wilson.
experience than him. So
So there you go. Smith takes the thing. Now the penalty box is getting. Look at Hagelin fight.
Yeah.
So now you got all that. The penalty box are here goes. Well, there's
no,
Wilson.
Yeah,
Gets the puck. He knows someone's coming.
he's looking all
And
around.
there you
Yeah,
go.
there they go again.
The
So,
thing is for the Rangers though, they don't have they don't really have a big team. So it's not anyone that could have really give him any concern. He had to be concerned for maybe a cheap shot.
oh
you
yeah,
know.
oh yeah, from behind or
Yeah.
something like that.
Which, to be honest, after what he did to Busnevich, I wouldn't have been,
Yeah,
that would have
yeah,
happened. You couldn't have blamed the Rangers. Now here's more fighting.
It could still happen down the road.
Look
so
at these are guys that don't normally fight, so there they go.
Mhm.
This is all going on in the first 4 minutes of the first
Yeah.
period. So it keeps going, and I can't remember who's fighting there. Oh, that guy was a flyer before. The guy for the Capitals. Darn it, I don't remember his
Oh.
name. But anyways, he was a flyer, and he's not much of a fighter.
yeah,
So there they go. They drop the gloves right off. Let me see if I can tell who number 17 is. Why can't I remember his name? But either way, so still. It's there it is. Raffle.
yeah,
I can't remember his first name, but he's a flyer, and it was a good fight.
yeah,
So we're gonna have more here. There's still more to come. Here we go again.
yeah. And they kept going and going, and
I
usually,
think this is Lars Eller for the Capitals. Not much, he's a good two-way.
usually when you know former Flyers,
Yeah.
they're used to that stuff. So
Right, and there's Lars Eller. Now he's just a good. Both these guys don't ever fight much, and
no,
there they go. And you gotta like it though, because there's some teams that don't respond. They really don't. So that happens. There goes, like I said, Lars Eller, who doesn't fight much. I'm not sure who the Ranger was who mixed it up with him. Let's see, we'll be able to tell right here. Assistant captain, so I'm not even sure why. Strome.
Strong.
So he's not a Dylan. He's not a fighter.
No, not at all.
That's usually he gets points. So and Eller's, like I say, two-way guy. He actually
You're
gets a good one.
making-
Strom gets a good one in here, right here, bang, right in the. Gets a good one on him, and no one's on the bench anymore, so
I
you
can
hardly
remember back in the day, Clark Gillies came over to Buffalo, and
right.
he made guys that didn't fight. They used to fight.
Right.
So
Well, here's something funny. That fight happened. You see all that go on. Tom Wilson gets a $5,000 fine. Now, I'm sorry I didn't get the clip. Busnevich, he's the guy that Pavel Busnevich was the one who got punched in the head. Kind of started the whole. He didn't start it. Wilson hitting him in the head did. Now Busnevich, he cross-checked Mantha in the face, and no fight happened, but he crossed him in the face. That guy gets a one-game suspension.
I take that back. That was in Gillies. That was Dave Schultz. He
Dave
came
Schultz?
over. Yeah.
Well, Gillies played right for the. Didn't he play for the Sabres?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did
played,
too?
Yeah,
He came from
that's
the
right. Played a little while.
Blackhawks,
Yeah.
right.
And the Islanders.
And the Islanders.
The Islanders is where
yeah.
he was his biggest. Right, 'cause he won cups there in the '80s.
I had a
think.
little senior moment there. You know.
Oh, that's all right. Well, I have them all the time. All the time. Well, you figure the Rangers got fined $250,000 for that, for what happened on Wednesday night.
Right.
Busnevich gets a one-game suspension for cross-checking Anthony Mantha in the face. Tom Wilson still sitting with his $5,000 fine. Robin, I want you to tell me what you think of what happened. Of the whole thing, because I know you were doing your sharing and stuff.
I mean, I obviously think that, we're smart enough and evolved enough now to know what causes damaging injuries. I mean, when you're not just, punching the guy, when you're punching him in the back of the head and doing things like
Right.
that, you can't have that going on. But I hope it doesn't take the aggressiveness and the fighting out of hockey. To me, that's part of what's always made it so much fun to watch. And I mean, I would go back to I would love to see Ty Domi play today's hockey.
He'd be good in today's hockey.
Yeah,
Rob Ray would be
Him
good in
and
today's
Rob
hockey.
Ray,
Yeah.
yes.
Because they're fast enough.
Mhm.
They actually
Yeah.
had a little bit of speed.
Right.
And this isn't really a big man's game. I mean, Wilson's just a man among, he's weird because he has all the speed and the size.
Yes.
And I like I like the back and forth between the teams. Like where John was saying he wouldn't want that to carry over in the playoffs. I would love for the Leafs to get a good rivalry with the Canadians going on.
Yeah.
Oh,
you'll have it.
And
You'll have it.
have it carry
Yeah.
into the playoffs. I think that's great. That's part of what's so much fun about the playoffs.
The problem you're going to have, though, is if you're not going to suspend Wilson, what are you going to do? Because come playoff time when someone taps the goalie, it might be worse than that.
Oh,
How can you
it's gonna
suspend
be
them?
worse than that.
And that's George Peros
Yeah.
making, you remember him?
Oh,
The
yeah.
fighter from Anaheim.
Yeah.
So he's the player, safety guy.
Well, I hope he knows what he's doing on this one. So
I was happy with. Now, here's the funny thing. Before I get to, there was more problems for the Rangers. Well, here I'll say it. Well, let's go to this. You have the fight on Monday. You have the issue on Monday with Wilson and throwing Panarin around. Tuesday, they fire everyone. The Rangers. They fire president of hockey
that's
operations John Davidson,
that was crazy.
and they fire the general manager Jeff Gorton. And guess who takes over both roles is Chris Drury. So he is now the Rangers' everything.
What an up and down season for the Rangers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Remember, it was just a few months ago. They none of their coaches showed up, but they won the game.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. with the
20
Colts.
nothing. I don't remember.
You're
the
right.
score,
It was
but
9-0 against the Flyers.
9-0, yeah.
Yeah. And the Flyers, you'd have figured it would have been a
Right.
walk-in for the Flyers to win. So now you have that. Everyone's fired. Chris Drury's there. Rumor has it that this is where Jack Eichel's going to end up this summer.
I've been
with the
hearing that the
Rangers.
past couple of
Yeah.
days from a lot of sources,
Dreger was saying it today with the Instigators, with Craig Rivet and them guys.
and it's close to home for Eichel. He lives in that area. His family's from up there in that New York City area. So
Dreger says,
I know.
though, he does not think the Sabres want him in the East. That they really don't want people to see Eichel in their face succeeding into what he should have been. It is a tough call because the Rangers play the same. I mean,
there's another deal of him going to the Kings.
I could see that one.
You're talking too. So,
the Sabres should be able to get a nice, thing out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if he goes to the Rangers, for example, they could probably get you're going to get 2-3 players. It reminds me of the Joe Thornton trade years ago when Thornton went from Boston to San Jose.
Right.
You're going to get guys that are going to play.
I was going to say 3 players in a pick.
Yes.
I'm looking at
3
some-
good players,
Yeah.
though. Like NHL ready guys that are
Oh,
going to
yeah.
play. Major play,
Yeah,
not going to hurt
definitely.
the Sabres. Really.
No.
Actually, probably help them because Eichel didn't play anyway.
Help them
Right.
down the road. 'Cause
Yeah.
he just doesn't want to be here. 'Cause I know he sees what's going on when other players are doing well
Yeah.
now, and
Well, look at-
maybe he
yeah.
doesn't want to screw up their system. What they got? I mean, it's not. They're not winning, but they're playing much better.
He's gotten to a point where it's time to make the playoffs. For Eichel, I'm sure,
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
you're going to see Austin Matthews, you're going to see McDavid. Well, McDavid is going crazy this year. He's on pace, if this was an 82-game schedule, to have 152
Mhm.
points. And we haven't seen that since the early 90s.
Yeah,
With, like
Yager,
Yzerman and them guys.
Lemieux,
Right.
and all of them.
And for this type of hockey, this day and age, I always thought, I gotta say it now. And I used to always argue about Matthews, McDavid. McDavid's probably number
And,
1, and Matthews is number 2.
He's
Because
going. He's
just-
going into his 7th
Yeah.
year next year. I mean,
Yeah,
how much longer
Eichel.
can you wait?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
But I think Matthews is unquestionably number 2, though. Like
Yeah,
some
there's no
people
one
like
close.
to push
No.
other people up there too.
Nathan
and-
McKinnon's not there.
No.
And no, it's but McDavid is just too much. I mean, to
Yeah.
be able to, you're talking 152 points is ridiculous. He's
Yeah.
at 90 points in a 50-game schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's getting 2 points a game.
Them are like Gretzky numbers.
Yeah.
And so-
Now, if Matthews doesn't miss the 7-8 games he missed, he would have had 50.
Right.
He'd had a goal a game.
hmm
So these guys are. It's maybe not as good, but it's McDavid. It reminds me a little bit of Gretzky, Lemieux with those
Yeah.
two guys.
Right.
You know.
and Yager, he was
Yeah,
in that
yeah.
mix too there. So
Yeah, there's good young players in this league.
Oh,
the
yeah.
NHL. I mean, it's. They got a bright future, and next year they start on ESPN and TNT.
yeah, so
and,
that's
Yeah.
going to help them out, get more exposed, and
and I'm going to tell you something right now. I bet you they want the Rangers Capitals game 1.
guaranteed.
So we
Yeah.
could see what happens. And I
Guaranteed.
think if the NHL was smart, they would pull back a little bit and allow. I'm not saying. You know what I don't like? I don't like Kevin Stevens when he used to hit guys in the head and knock them
yeah,
out.
oh geez,
But fighting is pretty. I mean, I only remember one time someone. Well, it was Chris Newberry for the Red Wings got hit, and I remember he hit the back of his head on the ice. That was terrible. He got hit. He got knocked out. But that was back when they used to let them take their helmets off. Remember they used to take the helmets
Yeah.
off, take everything off, and fight.
Right.
But I think Americans in the United States, I believe the violence of it will sell here better than people think.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. NFL football's violent.
Maybe they'll do like NFL does, like let they only one game on that night. Nobody else plays.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised.
Mhm.
I mean, who's not? When the Rangers play the Capitals next year, I'm watching.
Oh yeah.
Now I watch the North Division because I'm a Leafs fan. So I don't. It's funny because how everyone has gotten now. If your team plays in the West, you generally only watch the West now
Right.
because you're playing those teams 9 times,
And
10
they'll,
times.
they'll be all back in their old divisions
Divisions.
like it used to be.
Yeah, and I'm gonna want to see that first Capitals Rangers game.
Plus with the
Right.
new team Seattle coming in, so
Yeah, the Kraken.
it's cracking.
That's a nice name,
Mm-hmm.
the Seattle Kraken. You like it, Robin?
So.
It's an octopus, right?
Yeah, you know.
I do like the
I guess
uniforms
the
are cool
Kraken is
colored.
a more.
That's what they called Gary Sanchez.
Yeah.
Each team's gonna have to give up 2 players, I guess.
Yeah,
That's
but
what
not major. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
Although they built Las Vegas, like I've never seen a.
I never seen a team like that. I mean,
No,
Yeah.
remember
well,
Ottawa? They won 9 games
Yeah.
that one year when they
Yeah.
were expansion. Terrible.
Vegas can win their second cup in
yeah.
5 years. I'll be going through the
It's
roof
sick,
at that.
yeah.
It's,
Oh well, Toronto hasn't won one since '67,
I
and the
know.
Sabres never.
Never.
Since
So-
'70. Well, the Sabres and Leafs are the same because '67 is a 6-team league.
yeah.
So really, in all honesty, they both have a drought that is really uncalled
Mm.
for.
Yeah.
The Leafs is even worse than Buffalo because they haven't even made it to the finals.
It's-
Think about it.
it's
Only
al-
conference finals, never
It's
a
almost
Stanley
like
Cup final.
they got it fixed for certain teams
Yeah.
to win. That's the way I look at it. It's
Sometimes it's weird. Well, the Dallas thing with Buffalo was
Yeah.
the kick in the groin because they would have won the series, right? Or
How
they at least
they-
Yeah,
Let out of
Red Hall.
California
Wins with Game
teams,
7.
yeah.
out of California teams do good when their first few years. They're all like San Jose and all of them. They're all playoff teams in their first few years, and
But that's why New York.
yeah,
I don't blame New York for firing everyone though, because there's no excuse for the Rangers to not be competitive, right? But you remember, you know who the guy who owns the team is? The same guy who owns the Knicks, James
Yeah.
Dolan. So you got problems there.
yeah.
No one likes Dolan.
It's a big market, and
And he's an idiot, and he's
Yeah.
an ass. You saw
Yeah.
what he did to Charles Oakley.
Mhm.
Remember when they dragged him out of the?
oh yeah, I'll
stadium?
never forget that.
Yeah, out of the arena.
Guy was a legend in New York. I
Yeah.
mean,
Well, even though I don't, and Spike Lee, they
Spike
wouldn't even
Lee.
let him in the door.
No.
They made him go through. Yeah, it was a mess. And so he doesn't care.
no,
He doesn't
that was
care.
crazy when they did that.
Yeah, so he doesn't really care about about the whole thing. Madison Square Garden, it's the mecca of everything. And,
Oh yeah, it's
and
like
it's garbage. But now at least the Knicks are coming back into
the
relevance.
Knicks are playing
Yes.
good, or they won 12 out of 14, and
Well, think about this. Brooklyn is supposed. If Brooklyn, let me put it this way: if Brooklyn does not win the championship, right, but the Knicks win one round, who's successful? The Knicks.
Knicks, yeah,
Yeah.
and
And New York City loves the Knicks.
and they're
Right.
picking
You know, so-
Brooklyn to be going down for the long haul.
Huh.
So
Well, think about this. The Lakers are very close. I know we're on NBA. It's all right. We're going to go back to NHL. The Lakers are very close to being in the play-in game. Did you know that?
Yes.
They're dropping so fast. And if they go to the play-in game, right, you know how they do that now? How fast will LeBron end that?
Right.
He won't want to. He'll say, screw this. We're
Yeah.
never doing play-in games again.
yeah,
Because he controls everything. You know, we were just talking before we were off air, before the show started. Playoffs are right around the corner
not
for the
far
NHL.
away. Yeah,
So next week's show, we're going to have Micah Jello with us from HockeyBuzz.com and all the different places you can find him. We talked about him before. He's on AM radio all over Canada. So we'll have
Always a
him.
great guest.
Yeah, and we'll have him just in time to talk about the playoffs, you know, and all of that. And
maybe get a prediction out of him.
yeah,
somehow.
oh yeah, I want to hear him talk because he, you know what, me and him go back to a while ago. We're both Leaf fans, and he's actually from here in Western
Yeah.
New York, but we both used to call Bill Waters AM 640.
Bill Waters, yep.
And remember Mike and Buffalo. That's why it's isn't Mike and Buffalo, but he definitely made something out of it, man. And I can't wait to have him back. We had him on before, and he was great, and we're gonna have him on again. And you know what? Maybe it's time. Wait, are we have commercials tonight?
No, not tonight.
Not tonight. Okay, that's fine. No, don't worry about it. I was just curious. That's my fault because I don't listen to our pre-meeting. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Yeah, I don't. I should have. No, not that I don't listen. I don't know what was happening. Senior stuff, like you're saying.
Yeah.
I was
Senior
in
moments.
another world. But before we get into the other thing, we're going to get into the NFL. Right now, John, who do
Sure.
you think? And this is just off the top of your head because I don't have anything either. If you had to pick, who wins? Who wins the division the Sabres are in? Who would you say wins that out of the playoffs? Who's the top four? Who do you think? Bruins?
Yeah, I'm gonna give them.
Tampa?
I'm
Oh
looking
no,
at,
Tampa's not in it with them. What am I thinking? Right? It's the Bruins. Who's in the Sabres? You got the Bruins, the
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
I'm looking at Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Yeah,
Mhm.
I like the
They're-
Bruins.
Pittsburgh's always tough. They're always
Yeah, the
And
freaking
they're-
Bruins don't make me. Always are.
yeah.
They're a pain, and they just get going at the right time.
Every year.
Every year it's been like that forever. And it drives me nuts.
Yeah, your brother likes it. Marchand.
Yeah.
Though. I don't like Marchand, but what a scorer he's
Oh,
become
yeah.
a well-rounded player, man.
He has.
Good two-way player and doing well. So
Yeah. Out west, I still like Colorado. I do like Vegas. I like something about
they
Colorado.
got a lot
I
of
like.
they got a lot of speed on that team.
And I like
I'm-
the goaltending.
hmm
Yeah.
And I can't go against Tampa. Even though Carolina's really good. And so's Florida's
Yes,
awfully
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
You know? What do you think? Tampa still with
I'm
this?
still saying Tampa.
Robin?
I think
Vasilevsky, the quarterback, it was the goalie.
So the goalie, yes.
You know? Florida, though, and Carolina. Carolina's weird because their goaltending's what?
Florida could be a sleeper team.
Definitely.
That's what I'm looking at. So
James Reimer, I think, is Carolina's goalie, along with Mrazek, maybe.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they'll be in the mix. Carolina will be there. They'll be in there.
They're
So
awfully good, and I gotta hope the Maple Leafs can.
Yeah.
This has to be the year that they make it at
Yeah.
least to like the final four.
at least the finals
Right.
for Toronto, like
Yeah.
Because
Toronto, Tampa.
you know who's falling
In
off
finals,
is
maybe.
the Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah,
They might
Yeah,
get
they're
jumped by
dropping.
Montreal. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it
They've
might
fallen.
be Toronto Winnipeg in the
Mhm.
opening round because Toronto Montreal haven't played since '79
Yeah.
in a playoff series, and that's obviously that's like a Bears Packers rivalry.
Winnipeg's they're always like a funny team to me, kind of like Chicago Blackhawks in a way.
Yeah.
They're either good or they're not, and when they are good, they could be one of the best teams in the league.
They got one of the best goalies
Oh,
in the
yeah.
world in Hellebuck, and he's an American too.
Mhm.
So come Olympic time.
We have a lot of people. We have a few people commenting
Okay.
in Facebook. Just one I want to bring up. Bernard Bex. He says, "Hello, everybody." He's actually
Hello.
commenting from France.
Oh, that's
We have a
nice.
person from
Nice.
France,
watching,
great.
so,
Hello,
yeah.
Bernard.
Yeah.
Yeah, from
Thank you for
France.
watching.
Yeah, yeah.
I wonder if he
thanks
likes
for
the
watching.
Montreal Canadiens. I don't know.
Man,
I'm just
maybe.
France,
I
you
bet
know,
you-
France,
Yeah,
Canadiens,
France,
yeah,
yeah.
right now. No, it's really cool. Thanks for watching us. I do think though that the Leafs this year. Now you got to remember they got Foligno's out. He got hurt. He should be back very
Yeah.
soon. You know who I'm interested to see for Toronto to play and is Riley Nash.
Yeah.
He hasn't played a game
He's
yet.
always been a good player too.
Solid.
Solid.
Yeah. The Leafs this year, though, I will say, are the toughest they've playoff ready. You know, where you have actual guys with all of them.
I
Spencer
always give you
Thornton.
guys credit. You guys do draft well because you got the Marlies right there,
Yeah,
and that helps out too, having a
Yeah,
farm team right
right
there.
there. Yeah. So it'll be interesting. And Anderson played his first game for them. Oh, did you know that, Robin? He played his first game last night for the Marlies. Anderson.
did he?
Yes, and he had 14 shots. I saw the goals. Gave up 2. The one he probably wishes he had back, and the other one he couldn't stop. But you could see the rust. I mean, he hasn't played in months.
Yeah.
You know, Jack Campbell, by the way,
Yeah.
16-2-2.
Mhm.
I mean, you can't. That's an incredible. I think it's the best 20-game record in the NHL record.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of the
History.
hottest goalies in the league right now. So
He starts game 1 for the Leafs, and
Oh,
if he
yeah.
falters, Anderson goes in.
goaltending wins.
Yes,
So
goaltending wins. All right, you know what? We're going to make a little turn here to the NFL. Draft, and we did our great draft show. You guys were out. Wade was unbelievable.
yes,
Producing that show because there was so much going on. There's no one else that could produce that like he did. Because remember, we're doing stuff. ESPN does what they do, but they have a ton of guests. You're always talking.
Oh,
We had
yeah.
to talk. 4.5 hours. He had to keep
Yeah.
bringing stuff up. You had to make your Mel Kiper book, and
That was
That was a
Mel
bad-
Kiper book.
yeah, that was
Robin
that
did
could have
an
been.
amazing job.
Yeah, that could have been
Thank
maybe sold. But anyways, let's get off of
Wore me
giving
out.
ourselves so much credit. And as we pat ourselves on the back so much, my arm's going to snap. Well, let's go to Kuiper over here, Robin Kuiper. Let's talk about the NFL draft real quick, Robin. Don't rush, okay? But who would you say, and then we're going to get to Wade's thoughts too. Who is better today because of the NFL draft?
I'm gonna say the Dolphins.
Okay, any good reason to tell me the
Um,
Dolphins?
I like that they got Jalen Waddle. I think that's gonna be huge for Tua. They got arguably the best pass edge rusher in Jalen Phillips with that second first round pick. They've got Liam Eichenberg from Notre Dame, who was supposed to go in the first round. They got him in the second. And the tight end they drafted in the third round, Hunter Long. I had him as the second tight end on my board.
Over
so
Freiermuth? Or
Yeah, I liked him even more. So I think they got some exciting pieces around Tua and filled some holes.
Yeah.
No real throwaway picks. They got Javon Holland in the second round. He's going to be filling immediately.
Right.
So I think they did a really good job drafting and surrounding Tua with the tools he needs.
All right, you got a couple more winners?
A couple more.
All right, let's
winners,
go around
less to
first.
say, but
And we'll go back.
yeah,
John, give me one winner.
I'm gonna look at the Pittsburgh Steelers with what they did getting Harris in there for their running back, and what they did on their offensive line.
Right.
I just don't got the names right now in front of
No,
me,
that's
but
fine.
but I like what they did,
Right.
and it's gonna help out Ben this year with the running game.
Yeah. He needs help
Mhm.
because he was getting hammered.
Yes.
Do you think of anyone that won?
Yeah, I'm gonna say a team that nobody is really talking about, but we're talking about a team that only won a game last year, Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I had them on my list, too.
They're probably gonna win about 5-6 games this year, I'd say. New coach, obviously in the off season, and the combination between Lawrence and the running back there from Clemson is
Yeah.
it's a great combo.
Yeah. Well, you got Etienne, right? That was him. And then the guy Robinson still there,
Mhm.
who was top 6 in the league in all-purpose yards. So, yeah, I guess it's a
Yeah.
1-2 punch. I criticized Etienne when it happened. And then I thought about it later. You know what? Maybe it was smart. Because you do need two. Everyone has two backs
Yeah.
now. You know what I mean? There's no anymore that guy who's like a horse.
Yeah, you
who
gotta
just, you know,
Most teams
take-
got three good
unless you're
running
Derrick
backs.
Henry.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Most teams got three good running backs all too now.
Yeah,
Alright.
Jacksonville. I think Wade
Yeah.
I had Jacksonville in my top 3 of overall improvements in the off season as well.
Yeah, I'm definitely not saying they're a playoff
Right.
team, but they're not. I don't think next year they're going to be the worst team in the NFC.
No, definitely not.
Just to remind everyone, if you got any questions, go to the Facebook message board. Follow us on Facebook, Goal Getters, with Rustino and Fidel, and then Fidel and Rustino, and then check us out on YouTube also. We're there, and anywhere else podcasts can be had. You can find us. For me, my number one team is the Lions. I thought getting Sewell that just dropped to them. Remember the offensive lineman? I thought was pretty good. They didn't even have to reach for him. I wrote down a few other players. I did like the defensive tackle from Washington. You might be able to say his name. It's like Onwezurike.
Right.
Oh, that's
Levi.
Levi.
Yeah.
That's the name to say a few
Pretty
times.
good. I did also like the fact, and I saw this guy play a few times. I think you guys probably all did too. Armon Ra St. Brown.
So,
Right.
I
yeah.
thought that was a pretty good pick. They compare him to Golden Tate. If he becomes
Right.
Golden Tate,
Yeah.
not bad in the 4th round. So 112th pick.
Also,
Former
that
Notre Damer.
other defensive
Yeah, right.
tackle, McNeil,
Yeah, I like him. Yes, he went in the 3rd.
he was a really good pick.
Yes, from NC State.
I have Detroit as my 3rd team that,
All right. So
that
we'll
I
just-
thought did well.
And I had Pittsburgh for one of mine too.
yeah,
John.
so,
What do you guys think of the 17 game schedule? It's kind of throwing me off still. Like when somebody
I
asks me
know.
what your team's gonna win.
I know you can't say 10-6
It's-
anymore.
I know it's like
It's
I
weird.
keep forgetting it's 17
Yeah.
games.
10-7. Right.
It's kind of weird,
I
ain't
don't
it?
like it, but it's fine. but-
Yeah,
yeah.
it's gonna take a while to get used to.
Instead of 8-8, what are you gonna be? I'll be what? I'll be like 7 no. I'll be what the hell would I be? 7-10.
Or 10-7
Yeah.
or something like that. Or
That is
11.
kind of weird,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
For all these years we've said the
Yeah, I was thinking
numbers.
about it today. Like it's gonna
Yeah.
throw a lot of people off.
It's throwing me off. Even as we speak, I can't. All right, Robin, who's your next winner that hasn't been already mentioned? Let's say.
I've got those 3: the Dolphins, Jacksonville, and Detroit.
Don't go to your losers yet.
No, just real quick with Detroit, like you said, to get Sewell there as the 7th overall pick of the draft, I think he's going to be the best pick.
Yeah, you
to
said that
come
on
from-
draft night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to come from the draft, so I think he was a steal.
Our buddy Kyle liked him too.
Yeah.
I
Well,
also
yeah.
think getting Jared Goff.
God, you like that?
I do like it.
Oh,
I like
I'm
him
a little
better
shook
than,
up.
than
Mhm.
Stafford.
All right, well,
And
yeah, he might be a little more. What would you say? He probably don't throw the deep balls better for Stafford, right? And maybe
Yeah,
Goff's a little
yeah.
more accurate. I know I'm saying that off the top of my head. I don't
Yeah.
know. But yeah,
You're,
I mean,
you're right on that.
they're probably good at that.
Mhm.
Yeah, maybe he's just a little calmer. I don't know. Stafford was hit or miss, but he was pretty good. We'll
yeah,
see. We'll
It's
see what the
still
We'll
weird
see
that
what the
he's
Rams.
on. I thought Stafford was never going to get traded. It's like
Yeah, yeah. He's never been in a playoff game,
he's
right?
a lifer on Detroit. It's like forever. It's like
Do you have any more winners besides your Steelers? Did you get another winner?
uh,
Is there another winner?
I like what the Jets did.
Okay.
So they had some good picks in there. They're going to be a surprise team.
Yeah, what the hell? I'm trying to think. The Jets quarterback is Wilson. Zach Wilson it'll be. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't think they'll be another. They'll win more than 2 games
Oh.
this year. you
Yeah,
would
they
think.
got them at 6, right? 6.5, the over on them.
So they'll be 6-11.
Yeah.
How strange. Any other winner for you that you can think of off the top of your head?
Yeah. Well, the dude who I thought was a sleeper, Jamie Newman, he went to the Eagles. I actually thought the Eagles had a good draft.
Yeah.
You know, they got their receiver they needed, and they went up and took it right from the Giants.
Yes.
Which was really
Yeah.
good. They definitely they schooled the Giants in that first round, especially.
And they got Newman as a free agent too,
Mhm.
even
Yeah.
better for
Mhm.
them. They didn't have to waste a pick on
Right.
someone who's probably
Mhm.
who that only
Who could
happened to
come in.
him because of not playing, from what I
Mhm.
understand,
Oh, okay.
because he opted out.
Mm.
You know, and I read that, so 'cause I was looking, and they said the only reason is because of that,
Yeah.
because he opted out and didn't play. So he's going to I can't imagine. I mean, I like him better. Like New Orleans drafted Ian Book. I like him better than Ian Book.
Mhm.
I mean, Ian Book. I know he's a Notre Damer,
Yeah.
but still, Notre Dame quarterbacks never play well. in the
They
league
never do
since
well.
Montana.
And
no,
Jalen Hurts is coming in. The Eagles are still not a great team,
right.
but Jalen Hurts is coming in with some definitely question marks around him
Yeah.
and his team. So it might give Jamie Newman the
Yeah.
opportunity a year or two down the road to jump in for Hurts.
All right, let me give you one of mine, and then just comment on the teams that we bring up. My winner. I have a few more winners, I think, than
Okay.
Robin and you have, and I think you may have more. But the Bears, they have to win. I mean, they go up to get Fields.
Yep.
They don't have a quarterback. That whole debacle, so they get Fields. Then the second round is where you got to think they won by getting the guy that they were supposed to, that everyone projected them, and Tevin Jenkins, offensive tackle. They were supposed to get him at 20,
Sure.
Right.
and they get him. They called him the meanest player in the draft,
Yeah.
and that's good. It's good to be a mean. Remember that one offensive lineman?
Oh, yeah.
Who was it for? Played for the. Oh man, his son's in the league too. I can't. He was called the dirtiest player, and he went to Michigan State. He played for the Raiders, and I can't remember his name. I'll remember before the show's over. But it was back in the '90s, and now his son
Okay.
plays.
Yeah.
Can't remember
I
his
can't
name.
remember his name either.
But anyways,
I can see faces.
Yeah,
though, so.
it was like a
Oh, Howie Long.
no. He's a defensive lineman, offensive line.
Oh, you're.
I'm talking about like his last name was a Polish last name. I'll find it here. Then I like the Bears with Khalil. I don't know if they call him Abear or Herbert from Virginia Tech, running back in the sixth
Yes.
round. From what I understand, he has a chance to take playing time.
Yeah.
You
for
know.
sure.
So the Bears were one of my favorites to.
I like the Bears as a winner too. I just didn't want to jinx them by by putting them on.
They're
my
a winner
most
by.
improved.
They win if Fields is good.
Right.
That's it. I don't even care because they just haven't had one
Yeah.
in so long.
Who's
Another
McMahon.
McMahon, and of course
Oh,
he
yeah.
got taken out in 4 years. He
Yeah.
couldn't even. That team wins more Super Bowls if it wasn't for those injuries.
Oh yeah.
Because they were better than the
They
Giants
win
in
at least 2 or
'96.
3.
Yeah.
I think they were better than the Giants in '86.
Mhm.
I got some more winners. I liked Pittsburgh, but we covered them. I liked Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, they had a good draft.
I thought, well, Horn, the corner, you can't. No, that was good. Good
Yeah,
pick.
and it's funny
That's a
'cause they
big
say
one for
he's
them.
the second nastiest
Yeah.
player in
Is
the
he?
draft.
Yeah, there he is. The shutdown corner. Terrace Marshall Jr. was probably a nice pick because he
Yes.
drops because of injury.
And he's 6'5", I think, or
Yeah.
6'3", out of LSU. He's definitely a top tier receiver.
They got a tight end from Notre Dame. His last name is Tremble, and they say he's really physical and can catch. So we'll see. Might be like Fryermuth was.
Yeah.
Be a good
Oh, yeah.
blocker as well.
And I like Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be good. He was intriguing, right? Oklahoma State.
Definitely an
and
interesting pick.
He hurt himself by playing. Where one guy, this is what's funny. Newman decides to sit out, and he ends up hurting himself sitting out. Hubbard decides to play and hurts himself because he hurt himself.
Right.
So he drops to the 4th round. So I think those are good picks
Yeah.
for Carolina.
Lyle Alzado, is that who you're talking about for the Raiders?
No, he was a defensive
Yeah.
lineman too. Alzado.
I do remember
Alzado. What's his name? Why am I saying it? Lyle Alzado.
Alzado.
Jesus, I'm saying it wrong.
Mhm.
I can't remember. He's an offensive lineman, and he was in. I would say he's the he's probably in the '90s. This guy for the Raiders. He played for Michigan State, and everyone hated
man.
him. but he was a good lineman. But he was hated. I mean, I think like Sports Illustrated called him the
I have
hatedest
to look it
man.
up. Yeah, I have to look it up later.
Yes,
So-
it's gonna drive
Anybody
me.
who's watching in the comments, if
Yeah.
you know, you win Goal Getter's Question of the Day.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I know it's not Stepniak. It's like Stepnoski, something of that nature.
yeah,
and
I
I'm
remember.
forgetting it.
Yeah,
And they hated it. And he might even played for the Cowboys.
I think so.
But anyhow,
We do have a comment
Yeah.
on Facebook from Chris Fidel.
yes.
He says, "Don't like the Jets trading Darnold. They would have got Kyle Pitts in the draft." What do you guys think about that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't
Kyle
think they should
Pitts.
have traded Darnold either.
No,
Yeah. No,
I think they made a mistake.
Oh yeah.
do you think
Darnold's got a
Darnold?
strong arm.
You think?
And
And he's with Carolina now,
He's
right?
with Carolina.
He's going down to warm weather where I think he might explode down there. Warm weather makes a difference in a
For
quarterback.
sure.
Right.
I mean-
oh yeah, definitely.
Going from
Where's
30
where's he coming from?
He played for USC.
USC.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah,
he's from the warm
yeah.
warm climate. I
Right.
mean,
Yeah, if he was like a Buffalo native, it wouldn't probably.
It wouldn't
matter.
bother him,
Right,
no.
Exactly.
but
Yeah,
your
no.
your body changes. I mean, it takes a while to get used to the warm weather. Some guys never do.
Right.
Rob Johnson hated it here, so
Yes, he did.
yeah,
But he was never good anyway. I
No.
don't even matter where he played. That guy.
yeah I'm just comparing.
Yeah, no, you're right. And
Yeah,
USC guys. I mean,
They like to be out on even OJ. He didn't want to be in Buffalo.
Right. Aaron Rodgers is the only one that surprised me. Comes from Cal and done so well in Green Bay.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, there's guys that do it. I think you're right though. I mean, definitely the cold weather.
Yeah.
I don't know though, Darnold. See, you know what? It's unfair because who can even tell with that, with the situation in New York how it was.
What happens if he goes down there and he has makes it all the way to the finals? I mean,
Oh,
the
God.
Jet fans would be
Steve
screaming.
Wisniewski?
Yes.
Yes.
That's it. Steve Wisniewski. Thank you, Robin. Yes, that's the guy.
Yeah.
Everyone hated him because he was so mean.
He was
the
a monster.
dirtiest player, and but he had a hell of a career
He was like the Dick Buckus of the '60s
of the offensive line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so-
All right. So here's what I also have as a sneaky winner was Tennessee Titans. I thought that the second round pick of Dylan Raduns,
Oh, yeah.
the offensive tackle.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb Farley I liked too, but everyone says he's a huge hit or miss because he has back issues. And I didn't realize about him, but that's why he goes so low. He went
Right,
pick
that
22.
is why he went so low, and I think he's going to be good.
As long as he stays healthy.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
they were projecting him in the mid
He's mean.
range.
He's mean.
Yeah.
He's another one. He's a hitter.
Range in the first round. So you figure
Some
if
guys-
he can keep his back issues in order,
Yeah.
I mean,
That's a
you're getting
problem
the first
there.
round pick in the second round. It's
Right.
worth the.
All right, here's what I want to go to now. You know who I thought did good was Cleveland, too. Real fast, I really liked that Cora Moa, the
Yes.
linebacker that
Yes.
they stole because
Yeah.
of health issues. It reminds me of the guy, and again, God, I'm losing my mind. He went to Dallas from Notre Dame, linebacker. We all know who he is. He went in the fourth round.
Yeah.
He was hurt. Jalen something. Anyways, whatever. He went
think of-
to
yeah, okay.
he went to Notre Dame. He was reminds me of this guy. Someone might have just texted me the answer. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, I'm wrong. He did not go to Michigan State. Wisniewski went to Penn. He went to Penn State,
Penn
not
State.
Michigan State. I got that from Andy,
Oh.
Mr. Michigan State, and I appreciate it. Thank you, Andy. I won't have to text it to you. I'm telling you, thank you, Andy. So yeah, but I like that pick for the Browns.
Mhm.
You know, and I think the Browns are going to be good because I think Baker Mayfield has finally.
Yeah.
My opinion, I think he might have matured or something.
Yes.
Getting rid of Odell Beckham Jr. isn't a bad idea either,
Mm.
because that guy just seems to go.
Think he's
every-
gonna go or? is
Yeah, he's got to go somewhere. They can't have him in there no more.
These wacky
Wide receivers,
receivers,
cause
they-
issues.
Yeah,
Right?
they
Yeah.
just do. They bring down the team like.
Very.
All it takes
selfish.
is one guy too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They're one of the most selfish players in football. It seems like is wide
Which-
receivers.
I mean, makes sense because they have to have that drive. You know.
Oh,
that,
yeah, they gotta
that kind of
be-
mindset to play the position.
Yeah.
But
You know where that
it
don't
carries
happen?
over.
Hmm.
You know where that don't happen? In New England.
No, because
Yeah.
they don't allow
Yeah,
it.
they
Even
don't.
when
Right.
Ross came, it
No.
didn't happen. Yeah.
No.
They don't allow it.
No, Antonio Brown even
Right.
was fine until
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
and then they pushed him out. They said goodbye.
Mhm.
No.
Yeah, Belichick has respect that other people don't get. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, that's why a lot of players don't like going there because
Yeah, they know they're gonna have to.
he doesn't.
But I
he-
think that's why a lot of players do like
Randy
going
Moss,
there too.
I
Like
mean-
when you're done and you're ready to settle down and win, why not go? To,
Yeah.
And Juju went there, is going there now, right?
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I didn't even know that.
yeah, Juju's
Yeah.
going there. Yeah.
That's a perfect.
That's news to
perfect
me.
for him.
Mhm.
That's perfect. Very good for him. I mean,
I
I
mean,
just
that puts them right up there with the top off season to get.
they've
Oh,
had an
they had a great
incredible
offseason.
offseason.
Yeah.
Plus the draft, whatever they drafted didn't even matter
Right.
because the offseason was insane. That they
Mhm. They did well. I mean,
and they got all those players coming back
Mhm.
that opted out for COVID.
yeah,
Patrick Chung ended up retiring.
Oh, did he retire? No.
they had what
No.
5 or maybe 6 or 8 players that opted out.
The one linebacker, I don't know if his name was
That was just
Hightower.
on defense.
Just on
On
defense.
defense, yeah, I know that makes a big difference
Yeah.
there.
Let's go to teams that may have failed. Robin, give us one that you think failed.
The Packers.
Okay, and I will have some. Yes, you go ahead, and then I'll.
I mean, I think first of all, what's going on with
Mhm.
Aaron Rodgers is a circus, and it's, I mean, just
Doesn't end
pretty
well.
much spells disaster for the team. Not supporting him by drafting an offensive option in the first round, I think, was silly. They didn't have to wait until the third to take a wide receiver. They could have gotten Kadarius Toney in the second, and at least
But they go with the center instead.
right.
Josh Myers,
Um,
yeah.
Hmm.
And then there was another pick that I didn't like of theirs. There was someone that they passed up that they took that I felt they too
Right.
reached for, but I don't have the
I
name written
well, I
down,
like
sorry.
their first round pick was fine because it filled a need. They needed a defensive back. Remember the defensive back that
Yeah.
got burned in the finals against Tampa? Oh my God, it was horrible how bad it was. But no, they needed. They have made the decision that they're not going to win next year.
Hmm.
I
Right.
don't see it without Aaron Rodgers. I can't see that they're going to win 8 games.
I see that maybe like 5 or 6.
They deserve it.
Yeah,
It's fine by me. I'm a
he's
Bears
going to
fan.
go somewhere and he's
Yeah.
going to do good. He wants 4 more years.
I see Las Vegas maybe for him. Denver, they always talk, but
Yeah.
but I don't think he gets to be able to have his own legacy in Denver.
What about if he goes to Las Vegas and
Yeah.
Derek Carr he got there still?
Send him out.
Elway
You send
don't
him
spend
packing.
that money either.
No,
Elway
he-
doesn't spend that money.
Isn't that strange? Isn't that
Yeah.
weird too? Considering, look at his quarterback. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it's
Good point.
great quarterbacks, great hockey, but they don't make really good GMs sometimes.
Yeah.
Look at how Gretzky was and all,
yeah,
and
I
George.
was
yeah.
just gonna say.
They just couldn't do it.
No.
And you wonder if that's what's going on. Do you got anyone that you thought failed?
I think that by just the first round alone was the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah.
That was the other
not
team I
moving
had
up to
too.
get a quarterback, reaching in the first round from a player that was not on
Right.
any
Out of
team's
nowhere.
radar.
Yeah.
That reach in the first round and not getting a quarterback at that same time, fail.
Yeah. Because it's
Yeah.
going to be in book.
It's exactly.
I
what
don't
wrote
know
down.
who else.
Taking Peyton
Do they
too.
still have? They don't have Jameis Winston, right? He's a free agent, I think.
I don't know.
They never brought him back.
I thought they brought him back.
Oh, did they bring him
That's
back?
what I thought. He's
'Cause-
still there.
The only other guy they got is you know who, number 7 or whatever the guy is.
Yeah.
And I like
Yeah.
him, but he's not a quarter. I don't.
Right.
He's even worse than Tebow was, I think.
Right.
Speaking of him, he's trying out for Jacksonville.
As a tight
Tight
end.
As a tight end, right?
Yeah.
Too little, too late, man. Why didn't he
Yeah,
come
they'll probably,
but that
they'll probably
adds-
sign him just for some tickets. Like
Probably,
sell some
yeah.
tickets.
for the
Yeah.
religious? That's about
Yeah.
it. Just for
Right.
for God, because I don't see anything else he was.
He's
pissed.
33 years old. I
The
mean,
Saints taking Peyton Turner from Houston.
That was the
yeah,
one.
that's the
That's
pick
the
right
one.
there
Yeah.
that just makes no sense. They could have waited another couple rounds and still got that player.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I was
Winston
going to say
Stone, the
another
Saints.
team was Seattle. I don't think they had a good draft
No.
either. So
Yeah. There's a couple that I don't like either. I didn't like that I know I don't think Wade's gonna agree with me. I didn't like that Washington didn't try and get a quarterback anywhere. I don't even know if they drafted one. I'm talking for the future. I don't see Ryan Fitzpatrick leading them to where they want to go.
Oh, I
No.
see them leading them all the way to the Super Bowl this year.
Ooh, here we come on.
I know it's a bold
All right,
prediction, but I
no,
see-
I like
I
it.
see
We'll see. We'll have to keep the tapes.
Well,
We'll have them.
defense,
Yeah.
the new.
I swear, if you
mark
get
this
that
down.
right-
Mark it
Oh, I gotta put a bet on it.
Yeah,
you know,
you got-
'cause
yeah,
I know
'cause
what he's saying.
It's going to be 500, 600. I bet you it's got to be 1,000 to 1,
Yeah.
maybe more.
Yeah.
We'll have to look
Have to
into
go
it. And we're
check
gonna
it out.
We'll go to the casino and
Might
do
be a
it.
business endeavor.
Yes, yeah, definitely. So if they winning the division, yes, I could
I can see
it.
that. Yes.
Not even because I still don't think Dallas is going to be half bad. So they're going to have to
Yeah.
play. Washington's going to have a tough time with Dallas. That's going to be good.
I mean, the Giants, they
Yeah.
got to improve too. I
They
mean,
got to get that quarterback going.
he ain't a bad
Jones.
quarterback. Yeah.
You gotta remember the play where he's just. I mean, all you have to do is jog.
Yes.
Yeah,
yeah.
He's down.
He's done. Yeah, I know.
Says it all, yeah. I like that. The Washington, you think goes? They would have to. It's Tampa. They're going to have to get through to get to the Super
You
Bowl.
know, in my
And
opinion,
others,
he
I
was
mean.
the best rookie receiver last year. I know he did have the best numbers, but that Terry McLaurin.
Yes, he was.
Yes.
I mean, he's doing it with Haskins. He's doing it. He's having amazing
Everyone.
games with all them different quarterbacks.
Alex
you get
Smith,
Fitz in
yeah.
there. Again, Fitz stays healthy. I like him. I like that team a lot.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. I
Great
know.
defense as well.
Very good defense,
Yeah.
yes, very good. And I don't even know who they draft. They probably drafted defenders. I don't even remember. I also don't like the Texans draft. I just thought another situation with no Deshaun Watson probably, or I don't know the issue. There's no one there to take over. I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, they drafted David Mills late, I think. Was that where's he from? Robin Stanford? Was he the Stanford guy?
Stanford, I'm pretty sure.
Do you remember off the top of your head?
Davis Mills, yes, was Stanford.
Stanford, okay. I thought they'd, and I just can't stand the team.
Sometimes
I mean-
those late round picks work out though too. I
Yeah,
mean,
they're in bad shape though. Think about that team. They've just really, for some reason, on their own. Oh, you can't blame them for Watson, but I mean you can for Hopkins
Right.
for just saying goodbye to him.
Absolutely.
And that's why Watson wanted out.
Right.
And Watson might have been out if the other issues didn't surface
Yeah.
on him. Think about it, because he would have made a play to get out of there.
Sure.
So now he could have ended up in New Orleans. He could end up, but you can't take
Yeah.
him because of his nonsense. What about the Raiders? Wasn't real happy on the Raiders because here's why: we all liked Leatherwood, the offensive lineman.
Yes.
Yes.
But then why did the GM trade almost his entire offensive line to go draft an offensive line in the first round? Just kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
But one thing I did like is they finally picked up the guy from TCU that I wanted the purple teams to
Oh,
pick.
yeah, Trevor
Mulray.
Mulray.
They
more,
did do that.
yeah.
So I wasn't crazy about the Raiders.
Yeah.
That's about it for me
Yes.
on losers. How about your Bills? Were you happy?
I'm still not crazy about it. They keep saying they added depth, but
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on how these picks pan out. I mean,
The only one that I didn't understand is why they didn't get a running back somewhere.
a
Just
lot of fans are
I was
talking
kind
that.
of. They had the
But-
two North Carolina guys. You could have at least. They could have taken a shot, but
They're happy with what they
got, I guess. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well.
we'll have to wait and
Because
see.
they can Trey Sermon late,
Yeah.
giving him a shot.
Who ended up? I don't remember where he ended up going, but I do like him.
Mhm.
I can't remember where Trey Sermon
Before
went.
you know it, it'll be training camp. So
You know what the Bills are gonna have to watch out for though is coming soon is they're gonna be in salary cap hell
yeah.
because next year they gotta pay Allen and the
Allen
way it
and,
looks they're not gonna have any room. So it'll be interesting. They're gonna have to make some maneuvers to be able to keep him under. So this is a big year for Buffalo. This could be
yeah.
a window
Yeah.
that's open that they need to.
Oh yeah, you got to
Slide
pay him
through.
and Edmonds too. I
Yes, they're not gonna be able to do both. And the way it stands, they're only gonna have like $2 million
Yeah.
under the
Right.
cap for the
mean, I'm
following.
sure it's going to
season.
be Edmonds going because he's
Yeah.
a linebacker. He
Gotta
can always
go, yeah.
he could always get a linebacker in there.
Because Allen's going to be at a $40 million a year guy.
Yeah.
If this continues, if he plays this good again, he's got to be, right? Because the going rate is about $40 million for your top. Because you've got to be paid like the best quarterback in the league. That's what always ends up happening.
Right.
I mean, that's just
I'm
how it
sure there
goes.
could be a
It's not-
team.
Yeah.
It's not going to be as easy as it was for them last year.
No,
You got
New
all
schedule.
all them players coming back from New England. You got Dolphins who were good last year, who
Oh.
just definitely made it. They're a stronger team this
yeah,
year.
all teams are
Um,
stronger.
I mean, the Jets still obviously on the bottom of the division, but the Bills aren't going to have the easy season that they had
No.
last year.
It never works out that way. It's always for 1 year and that's it. Then
Injuries were pretty good for Buffalo this year. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
happens. That's how you got to get there, right? You got to have those injury
way
miraculous
down,
seasons, you know.
and it-
Well, it's as I keep hearing from some of these people, it's a process, so the process continues here in Buffalo, and we'll see.
trust the process.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't trust anything.
No,
I've seen enough,
I
man.
know.
I trust nothing.
I just got this weird
Well-
feeling Allen might be gone. I'm sounding crazy, but
But if the money he's going to want, if he plays another season like this, he's going to be worth $40 million a year.
yeah.
And then what are they going to do?
If not more.
You got to pay him, and you're going to have
Mm-hmm.
your either Pagula do it or don't.
And he's a West Coast guy, so you know where he probably wants to be. And
He might. He likes the cold. He's not bad though, right? He's in North
Yeah,
Dakota
that's
or
true.
Wyoming. I mean,
can't really say that.
I just got to say they'll have to pay him.
Mm-hmm.
God forbid if they don't pay Allen, they might as well move.
Mm-hmm.
Go because he's the guy. You don't get them. They're once in a. We see it. Some teams never
Yeah.
get. Well, the Bears, the Browns. The Browns they never recovered from Kozak.
Yeah, I mean
Kelly.
He should be at least a 5 to 10 year quarterback here.
And there's
easily.
some teams though, like the Packers that went from Favre to Rodgers, win only one Super Bowl.
Yeah.
No, they won two Super
Two.
Bowls. We were talking about this last
Yeah,
night.
they
Yeah.
lost. They lost
That's-
one. Right.
But you figure with all that, they should have won more,
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't. Like I said, Rodgers went to as many Super Bowls as Rex Grossman. So, and the Bears should have won that.
Yeah.
Let's not.
Yeah, please.
All right, why don't we move into something else? I want to talk about Albert Pujols here as we're going towards the end. Albert Pujols, we got a video we'll show you too.
Sure.
But it's a sad situation for Albert. His lifetime stats, right, are incredible. He's one of 4 players, and that is
The 2-1.
in the 3,000 hit, 600 home run club. Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, Alex Rodriguez, and now this guy. Numbers are incredible. 667 home runs, 2,012 RBIs. He has
He got his team an
3,252
RBI,
hits.
and he
Here's
got
what's
some
sad.
hit.
He's batting 198 this year because he's getting old. This is what happens when you don't use steroids, by the way. You actually decline.
Yeah.
You don't become better at
Such a
40.
great
You
story.
usually...
You go downhill
Yeah.
real fast.
And so he's doing it.
Pujols
It's,
to
the,
right
it's
field.
what happens.
That's got a
He's at
chance
a
if
point
it
now.
stays fair,
He
and
got
that
a
one's
10-year,
gone.
$240 million deal. That's why you shouldn't give guys in their 30s
Albert.
10-year deals.
No.
And he's in his final year. They owe him $30 million, and they owe him another $10 million in personal services.
Just joining
contracts.
us,
He's gonna get
Jake
$40
Odorizzi
million
unable
this
to
year.
continue after the
But they
first
just released
batter
him.
removed an
And
injury
what sucks for
situation.
him, and
As
please, I'm
Albert
not
Pujols
crying.
sends one into
for the guy.
left
I'm just thinking of it in
gone.
record
And Albert
and all the
continues
time
to
he's put in
swing
for
the
with
big
the
bat in
team.
Houston. His
He's batting
second of the
198.
series.
He's
Start
17
in the
for
league
86
that
with
isn't
12
aware
RBIs.
of that
What that
kind of
did to him,
number.
though, was make his career batting average go under 300.
Albert
And he's at
sends a
298.
drive well struck out
Why
to
not
left
keep him?
center field, bidding for back-to-back.
225
For the
earlier in the
2018, his
season,
All-Star
and
year.
His average was just still at 300.
And Albert
It
lines
makes
it
me
back
wonder
up
though
the
why not
middle.
keep him for this
Right.
remainder of the season. You
Walsh
can.
coming around.
I mean, you don't have to start him.
Yeah, the quote from the GM was, "There's never a right time for something like this."
Yeah.
Well,
But
Well,
you're
here's-
right. If that's the case, then it's odd that
It's
why
his
not
last
just
year.
let him play out the year.
Now he was upset on Wednesday that he wasn't in the lineup. Manager Joe Madden said it wasn't his decision; it was a front office decision, and then he got released. So, kind of, I mean, the guy's a Hall of Fame. The guy probably clean. It seems clean. Is going to be in that category with Mays and Aaron.
Right.
I mean, A-Rod, I don't know what to tell you about him, but Mays and Aaron and Pujols do this.
Yes.
He's a 2-time World Series champion. He's a 10-time All-Star, a 3-time NL MVP when he was with the Cardinals, and he was batting champion in 03. Great career, right?
Mhm.
I mean, this is the
was.
Mount Rushmore types
Yeah.
of players. I mean, you'd have to put him in there because you can't put Bonds. Bonds can't be considered anything, right? I mean,
no, after what he did, no.
his head grew 2 hat sizes.
Yeah, if not 3.
Like the
Yeah.
Grinch's heart.
Yeah. After one off season, he put on 40 pounds.
Yeah.
Think about that. And he didn't get chubby.
Mhm.
He was
Yeah.
he turned into a robot.
Yeah.
Who was, remember the big thing he used to have on his elbow?
Oh, yeah.
So, because they'd always hit him.
Mhm.
And he got walked more than anyone ever.
Mhm.
Because every
Right.
time he hit the ball, it was a home run, man.
He didn't feel no pain.
No.
Listen.
And when he was in Pittsburgh, though, he was a normal-looking guy.
Very normal.
Yeah.
Actually, on
Thin.
the thin side.
Yep.
And he
Him and Bobby Bonilla both. When
And
they
sure.
were there.
and he was a good ball player, right? I mean, he was a
And-
good ball. He was okay. He probably though wouldn't have been a Hall of Famer.
Bonilla got
If he
paid for
doesn't-
years by the Mets too after
Oh,
he
yeah,
was
Bonilla,
gone.
yeah.
That was crazy
I think
there.
he's still getting paid
Yeah.
from the Mets, isn't he? I think he's
Yeah.
got like 2 more years.
Yeah,
of
his best
payment.
contract ever.
Mhm.
He gets $1
Yeah.
million every July 1st, I think, or whatever it is, June 1st.
Yeah.
But I just know, like, when you go through that era of steroids and PEDs, nothing's real
Mhm.
at that point.
It
But
did
what do we
spike
do
attendance.
Oh, it sure did. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
and,
yeah.
And,
And
what
it
do
just-
we do now when we know that earlier generations had their own ways of fixing things? You know, I mean, they didn't do steroids, but you know, people were corking bats and
Well,
you know,
yeah.
and
And
like,
the
there's
bat would
been-
break and the cork would fly out, or the
Baseball.
little balls would
Dishonesty.
pop out.
Baseballs
throughout
are juiced up. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but it might have.
But how do you judge one era's thing worse than another? Like, how do you say, well, these
I'm
people
gonna
are
tell you.
allowed in the Hall of Fame, but these people who just
I'm-
did a more...
I'm going to explain. I'm going to explain.
Okay.
Here's what it is. The guy who corked the bat, I remember I remember Ron Say did it.
Right, yeah.
Okay, he hit foul ball. He hit a ball, and all of a sudden, all these little super balls came flying out of his bat. Remember? I don't know if you remember.
I remember
Right there.
that.
He didn't hit 600 home runs with the Super Ball bat, with the bat that had the Super Balls
But how
in
do
it.
we know what Hank Aaron was doing?
You think? Well, okay.
That's true. I know.
All right.
I
Well,
see
what
your
could
point.
what could he have been doing? Hank Aaron back
Maybe
then.
he corked his bat. Maybe he...
So you're trying to tell me the corked bat is equivalent to catching more? You with these PEDs, you're able to get. What did they tell you? You read the book. How
Yeah.
many frames per second your eyesight is better than the next guy because of the PED. So he can hit a fastball better than that guy can.
Yeah.
Because he's on it. And it's different than a corked bat.
Yeah, I
I
I
mean,
will
you're-
say that steroids certainly are... a
PEDs,
greater-
though. Steroids now, they were taking that bull testosterone and all that nonsense. And then that's why guys had to take... That's why Sammy Sosa is the way he is today. That's why Manny Ramirez got in trouble for taking all those women the testosterone.
Right.
What is it? The women estrogen. So because they had to mask the... That's how they masked the... No, actually, I'm sorry. That's how they could not become like wild animals because they're taking bull testosterone.
Sure.
So they have to level it out. And then when they level it out too much...
I'm not suggesting
Everyone's wild.
that the steroids...
Wait a minute, though. Wait.
is-
Roger Clemens, you know this. He leaves the Red Sox, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's throwing out 88 miles. All of a sudden, this guy can't even hit 92.
Yeah.
He goes to the Yankees, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's at 98, 99, 100.
Yeah.
I don't think that's normal.
I'm not saying that the things that they used to do in the past are as bad as steroids. I'm not trying to say
Right.
that the two equal one another. But the next generation is going to have something else that their generation does to try to get an
Oh, for
edge
sure.
over there. And at what point do we say, okay, these people aren't Hall of Famers, these people aren't All-Stars, because, I mean, what do we think of an A-Rod? I mean, does
Oh, I know what I think of him now after learning what I've learned, and when I thought he stopped, and he still, when he said he stopped,
You didn't stop.
he didn't stop. See my point? Like you don't stop, so
No.
nothing is real.
Why is this a problem in baseball, but it doesn't seem like it's a problem in football?
Good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one cares.
No one cares.
No, not much. Unless someone gets hurt.
Yeah.
Unless Lyle Alzado, when he dies of a heart attack because of it, because of the steroids.
Right.
Yes.
Or
I'll never forget that.
how many quarterbacks are doing it? Right. I don't know.
Yeah.
No one
Nobody cares.
No one cares.
Right.
No one cares in hockey
Right.
or basketball. You know it's being used.
And before they were doing that, they were getting coked up before games.
Sure.
And the
Well, yeah, that's
NFL,
LT.
and-
Yeah, I mean, LT was a wild dog. He's a crazy dog. When he's going after Ken O'Brien, he's screaming it. But I'm just saying, like, yeah, you're right. They don't care. No one gives it. No one cares in the other sports. But baseball, you know why I think it is? These records mean something to people. They're
Yes, they
huge
do.
things. You know, I don't know.
Yes.
But that's what I mean.
But you gotta see
I
though.
know that you can't undo the steroid thing, but at the same time, I don't think you can completely act like the player didn't exist.
Oh, he existed, but maybe you got to put him in, and you got to
put him
tell.
in and you put an asterisk.
I wouldn't even put it in. I want the story told.
Yeah.
When A-Rod goes in, there should be a no emotional entrance speech. What should happen is, okay, he's in, and let's tell you the story. Now, does he want to come out and explain the story himself? That'd be great.
Yeah.
You know, when Manny Ramirez, do we want him?
Sure,
Yeah.
why
What do you want to do
not?
with him?
Pete Rose.
Well, Pete Rose is a different story
Yeah,
now
that's-
because Pete Rose didn't do steroids. He was just
Right.
a degenerate gambler.
You hear
So,
about
You know, he
And I think
Yeah.
he should. He should still be in as a player.
if he didn't bet on, if he didn't
Right.
bet
Yeah.
as a
'Cause
player, yeah.
The proof seems to be that he bet as a manager.
We,
Well-
do you think the degenerate didn't bet as a player? He's a degenerate gambler.
Mhm.
You
I mean-
heard about you know,
But you're
Canseco wrote a book. About
Yes.
Oh, I read
Yeah,
the book.
yeah.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Unfortunately.
But it's almost like many of these owners of the teams were
Mhm.
encouraging it.
Yes, definitely.
Cough, W.
Yeah.
Bush there.
They
all
he was
encouraged
a
it.
president, you
Yeah.
know, and
Mhm.
Well, they encourage all of them. I mean, the Yankees knew Steinbrenner knew what was happening. The
Sure did.
Steinbrenners. Joe Torre writes a book. Listen to this.
Oh yeah,
Let me tell you an excerpt out of this book. You're gonna love it.
great book.
When Roger Clemens would pitch, he was so raged up that he was he would put icy hot on his genital area because he was so crazy that he just needed to feel pain, and he would just be going. And Torrey said he was like a wild animal. But then in a second, it would be time for him to pitch in the bottom of the second, and you'd see him in the tunnel crying, his
Yep.
eyes up, just crying, and they wouldn't even say nothing to him. Then he'd go storming out there like a wild animal and throw 100 miles an hour. And then, remember what happens with Piazza? He beams Piazza in the head. Piazza goes down, nothing happens. The next time he faces Piazza, Piazza's bat breaks and goes towards him. He picks up the bat and throws it at him. And he says, I thought it was the ball. Clemens says he thought it was the ball. Now the thing was a big shard of like almost like a javelin. He threw it back at and got mad. Why are you throwing your bat at me? Basically just being unreasonable.
Yeah.
And then someone asked him, well, if you thought it was the ball, why wouldn't you throw it to first base?
right.
Why would you throw it at...
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, Robin, how can that be looked at and say, I want to put Roger Clemens in the Hall of Fame? For what?
I think
For going wild?
I think the story comes with him.
Oh,
But I mean, when you look at Roger Clemens' career,
it's terrible. After...
Did he win a Cy Young
Oh, sure.
award?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
oh,
Yes.
and championships.
But the problem was
and-
he was declining, as normal people do, and then he decided to go in the other direction to make hundreds of millions of dollars.
Sure did.
No, I don't blame it. You're right. I agree with Wade 100%. They're all guilty. They encouraged it. They loved it. Not until Canseco came out and blew it all in.
Blew everybody.
And then next thing you know, we have a Mitchell report. Remember that nonsense?
Oh, yeah.
In the Senate? They
Right.
wasted all that
He
time.
goes on 60 Minutes and everything else. And
Rafael Palmeiro almost went to prison
Yeah.
because he said, I never did steroid. Remember in front of the Senate? And they were going to charge him for perjury.
yeah,
They were going to kill him when everyone else is perjuring themselves left
yeah,
and right.
please.
Bill Clinton, the whole bunch. We go
Oh,
up and
yeah.
down the line. But Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa was a circus.
oh yeah.
That wasn't real. We were watching fake.
But it
Hitters.
was real because at the time it was real.
People didn't know.
Yeah, but-
kids didn't know.
But you know now.
They
So
know
after
now.
why would I want to put
But
them
you can't take that part of the game away from people.
steroids?
You can't say that didn't exist. It existed.
It
I mean,
existed,
it wasn't
but it-
existed in a pure way. But
But so then how do you put it up against
But there's
Reggie
other-
Jackson?
other guys
Yeah.
taking steroids that aren't doing that.
Well, no, there's other guys that made the major leagues because of steroids.
Right.
Jeremy Giambi's, Jason's brother is the perfect
Sure.
example. He's not a major leaguer without steroids.
Right.
Not a chance.
And
What's his
without the
name?
Giambi.
What's his name? How about Melky Cabrera? He's been caught a million times. He even made his own websites to try and trick MLB.
Right.
Like that.
Yeah, I remember
It's just
that.
insane. Robinson Cano. What do you want to do with him? He's a. If you don't accept that steroids, or not steroids, PEDs make you better, then
I do, but
How about the guy that doesn't take them though? Is it fair? Mike Greenwell should have won the AL batting title
Yeah.
and MVP, and he doesn't win because of a steroid guy. It's not fair. Mike Greenwell missed out on a lot because of that, and the guy's you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
Yeah.
how do you?
I mean, I think we have to find a way to include these people, but at the same time, not lying about their past or
Oh,
their
yeah.
story.
Yeah.
But I think you can't just gloss over that part
Well,
of
it's
the
not
game.
gloss. They won championships. No one stripped any titles. No one
Right.
took away their batting titles. No one took away their home runs. But it's just how do you tell me that Hank Aaron was doing what Barry Bonds did? He didn't.
No,
I
I
mean,
mean, I'm
Hank
sure he was
Aaron
doing
broke
something.
bats. I mean, I'd imagine he broke a bat in his career. Cork would have went flying, or something would have come flying out of it.
I mean, I'm
I mean-
not saying that example only. I mean, everybody
Huh.
does what they can do to get an edge, I think.
Right now, they're talking about spin rate. And they're
Right.
saying Garrett Cole's the biggest cheater in baseball because he gets that some substance that the from the Angels. Their what do you call it? Clubhouse manager, right? And now they're saying he's calling that guy to get it because Trevor Bauer says spin rate should never go up from like 1,800
No.
to 2,300 in one off season. I don't know, man. A spitballer's in. The Necro, one of the Necros, or Gaylord Perry, whichever one, he's
Right.
in the thing. They knew he was spitting,
Right.
and they actually caught him several
Oh yeah,
times.
more
spitting.
than once, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
But he was a knuckleballer. So, no, that was Gaylord Perry, right? Not the
But
Necros.
they let him in, right?
Well, they let him in, but it's a little different.
So how don't you let these guys in and
You
say
don't see the
Alex
difference.
Rodriguez, but this is what he did, but
Right.
this is what contributed.
You
to
don't
him
see
doing
though
it.
why a guy like George Brett
I was
or a guy
just gonna
like
say that. the
or
pine
those
tar.
types of guys. But I'm just saying, like,
I think they deserve to be in there too, though.
but don't they? Aren't they a little better than the guy that had to take PEDs?
Sure, and then, but when
So how do you
go through and you see him in there and you see there's no asterisks, there's no, but here's the story.
But do they deserve to have that whole deal? Like in Cooperstown, when Mike Schmidt, that's
Yes.
it. Everyone, they're all emotional. It's a great time. Do those guys deserve it? The ones that have cheated their way, and because they extended their careers, because they were able to catch that millisecond on the fastball, because their eyesight's better. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Like, how are
I
they
get your point. I
able? Why
definitely
does
do.
Don Mattingly, who had a bad back, who could have easily used that stuff, and I'm sure would have got him into the Hall of Fame,
Sure.
whereas, I don't know, let's think about the guys from the Phillies, all of them. Every single
all
one.
them pitchers
Yeah.
on the Phillies are.
Dave Hollins, remember that guy?
Oh, yeah.
Remember Darren Dalton?
Dalton.
He's
yeah.
from Orchard Park, Dave Hollins.
Darren Dalton. That guy was a machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Catcher. You don't think about this. Do you think that Pudge Rodriguez could? No catcher can catch 150 games
No.
in a season. He did.
No way, but he did.
He did it, and he batted 300. That's insane. So what do you do to
And he
Thurman Munson?
barely had knee problems too.
But is it fair for him to be in there over? That's what I'm trying to say. Over Johnny Bench, just as Johnny Bench or Gary Carter, or the catchers that were catchers that maybe only caught 110 games because that's normal.
Right.
This guy's able to catch almost all of them.
Yeah, that's crazy.
See, I have a problem with that.
Sure.
But I understand what you're saying. I can't erase it because you don't erase it because there's titles won.
Well, and not only are there titles won, but I think there was fans created. Like, there was people who watched the McGuire Sosa. There
Yeah.
were probably kids that, were growing up at that time that were watching that's what made them like baseball. That's what
Well, as adults now, what
the
do they
whole
do?
thing. Well, as adults, they realized that the true story of what was going on, but that doesn't change the excitement of what was happening when it was happening.
No, you're not going to take that excitement away, but it's not.
But it should be included in the story of baseball.
Oh, it is. It is. And the darker sections of baseball where it's the evil and the bad and the the things that were not like the Black Sox.
But I think we should
Oh, Jesus.
we should
19
celebrate
19
the
or
good
12,
things,
1912.
even if we have to, like I said, tell
Well,
them that.
we might do this all night. It's 7:15. Me and you will disagree. We'll finish this on the way home.
Yeah.
We might as well. I'm sure we'll do this all night till 10. Maybe we'll do a live stream at home.
Stop
Yeah.
at Tim Hortons.
Yeah. We'll live stream it. Anyhow, guys, thank you for sticking with us. Hour and 15 minutes. This is the waste. Good job,
Yeah,
John.
you too.
Good job, everybody. Goal getters. Don't forget Citizens United on Wednesday night. We have a guest coming up. Enjoy it. Come back. Come watch us. New shows, The Draw. We got a new show that's doing a pilot for us on Thursday.
Next
It's
week,
something
yeah.
about something's popping or something.
What's popping?
Yes, with Ian and
With Jordan and
Ian.
Ian, yeah.
that's going to be good. More
A new
comedy.
show.
We need comedy here.
Sure,
because
why not?
all hell breaks loose sometimes. And then we
Good
have
for
a
the
ton
soul.
of right. We have a ton of shows coming, and I had a good time tonight. Robin, you
Yeah.
all right over there?
Oh yeah.
I don't want to have to teach. Nah, I'm just joking because I get
I had a
tired.
great time. Great topics.
Oh, of course.
Good
We're
show.
all right. All right, guys. We'll see you next
See you
week.
next
All
week.
right.
Goal
have a-
getters.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.